So I saw you when you try to use your right fingertips to do.
To the big lump of clay.
Yeah, you see that that the big spiral here, that actually have a clay. You can rip it off, and then it tend to go back to the surface. So you don't need to have it too deep there, right? So just slowly
Okay.
and do that. That will eliminate the very big. Like if you have something like this big, it's easy to rip up the clay. So
Okay.
just make sure you do it just a little bit here. And also I saw you when you do, you put your hand here and push the top very flat. You don't have to do that too. You don't have to do
Just
that
keep
either.
Just keep a dome.
Yeah, just keep a little bit of dome shape, yeah. And move the hand. I'm moving the hand here down. Okay, so that's center, and that top here, you are using your thumb to drill. Right, take it all the way, right? Use your thumb. I usually use my left hand to do that while I'm open it deeper, especially when you have a large amount of clay.
Okay.
Okay, but if you're gonna use your thumb, that's fine too. Just put the thumb here, right? And this hand, left hand, can just try to stabilize your thumb, right? And you can pull your thumb here, right? This hand is helping, right? It's using your thumb, and from the center, you can pull it to the corner, right? So now the base is wider, so you can go there and compress that. You can use your thumb too, right? Helping to stabilize it, and just put the thumb there, because since the opening is low, so you can use the thumb here, right, to compress the floor. If you are you're not making the ball shape, you don't have a very sharp corner here. So usually I will get this corner a little bit sharper. So you can just use a finger. See that fingernail?
Yeah.
Squeeze it there, right?
Okay.
The corner is sharper, right? So you see that when I'm opening, it's wide and low, right? Wide and low. So you could use your thumb to compress it, right? Now, when I'm ready to raise it up, you can color the clay, right? Squeeze it. Right? You can take it, squeeze it, so it's getting taller, and you still have a very sharp corner there, right? And you can start to lift from here, right? Pinch and lift it, just like you did here, right? Pinch,
Yeah.
right, and stabilize here. And speed up a wheel a little bit, and you can pinch a little bit more aggressive. Right?
Okay.
On compress. I saw you were compressing this part. Usually I do it here, closer to my body, and just pinch here, right? This hand pinch and this hand, just slightly squeeze it. That's all, right? And now you see that there's still lots of clay here. A skirt of clay hanging there, right? Push it in. That's all you did, right? Push it in. Right. So this part here, you have less clay hanging in here, and slightly color it up. compress. Okay, still a little bit clay there hanging. I'm squeezing it in. Okay. Now, ready to raise up the wall. So first, I get a belly. Gets the inside. See the inside? There's a thickness of clay, right? Right there, right? So I'm pushing the corner, right? And now the outside thumb is fitting right there on the belly, and then I'm going to raise it up like that. Fitting right there on the belly, right? Squeeze. Compress the rim. Now, most of the clay I've been pushing it up, right from the bottom. Compress a bit. Okay. My next lifting, make sure it's slippery. Belly out. See the belly?
Yeah.
Now, fit my thumb right there, right? On both hands. Squeeze in. Moving it up. And compress.
Okay, yeah.
So lift in, and since you are going to keep the top smaller, so color in, compressed it. Okay. Slippery. I will do my final lifting before I lift it. There's still skirt of clay hanging there, right? Push it in, right? Push it up to, okay. Push out the belly. And the thumb there. Okay, right, so the wall is good, thin enough, and then get start to make a shape. But since I'm making the top small, so I will kind of compress it here to make the top a bit smaller. Okay, and then I start to make a shape. You can use a rib, you can use a hand. Okay. So that's a hand. Like that. And if you are using a rib, okay, usually I would use the wooden rib to kind of remove all my throat mark. Okay. And slightly widen it, make it wide. Right, if you're aiming for the teardrop shape, so slightly make it wider on the bottom. Keep the top smaller. Okay. So using the wooden rib to remove all my finger mark, throat mark, and the final shaping, I usually bring the metal rib to do that. Hold the rib, slightly bend it, and push the clay onto the rim. And all I care is the shape, so I see that I'm moving my hand fairly slow, right? And my eyesight is looking, see that I bend my head here, so looking at the profile of the curve. See where the curve needs to come out. My hand inside is pushing that against the rim. Okay. So you see that this curve is good. I'm just going to continue the top. Okay. And still, you see that I got lots of clay here. I could later on to pour if I want to be taller. That's that much clay that I could use. Before I do that, I usually get this part here nicely done before I take care of that, the neck. Right. Clean it up, maybe smooth it a bit. Okay. Right, now I'm going to take care of it. First I will, this is thick, so it's very easy to go very aggressive, right? Thick, so I have my hand like this hand, right? Hold it right here, right? And I'm gonna use my index finger here to compress it. Well, my bottom is squeezing, right? I'm controlling the lips right here, right? So close it in. And now, when you close it in, this part here is getting thicker, so you can try to lift it and just start from here, right? See that finger, you can start from here and make sure that the curve is continuing from here to all the way to the top, right? So get my thumb here, right, and pinch it, and this hand stabilize it, and just pinch. Right, so this part here, you don't have so much clay, and your neck is getting taller, right? And here you can continue the curve, or you can use the metal rib to smooth it out. Make sure the whole curve follow through. I'm pushing it out a bit more. Right, so this part here, I move it in a bit, and you're gonna get it slippery. Just touch it up. Right, and again, right here, pinch. And when it's smaller, you can speed up the wheel. You see that the wheel speed is going a little bit faster. Right? Okay. And again, here, after you close it, the wall is getting a bit thicker, so you can continue pull it up. And compress the rim a bit. Okay, now this part here is not follow through, so I'm coming back here to continue the curve.
Nice.
Yeah. Alright, and this part here, you can still thin it down and pull it taller. Right? And again, to make it smaller, this is another way to shrink the top. Right? It's like a crawl, finger crawl. And stabilize it here. All the pressure, even pressure. Okay, so when the closer is thicker, and go back there and make it thinner. And you see that I speed up the wheel, right?
Yeah.
When the diameter is smaller, you need to spin the wheel a little bit faster. Right. Okay, and go back here and remove all the throwing mark. Okay, check it. This part here needs to go in a bit.
Gorgeous.
See that? Not too much water, just a little bit here, right? Okay. That curve fit in nicely, right? So I'm holding like this. Just push the wall against the curved side of the rib. And continue the curve. Right? Okay. Okay.
Like that. Yep.
Okay, so that's the inside, right? So fairly thick, so I could trim a taller foot. But other than that,
Nice.
it's the inside of the shaving.